Hello guys. In today's lecture we are going to go over a pretty standard protocol, standard component, which is the boxmorph tool. It's an effective tool for aggregating surfaces. It's a little bit different than using the paneling tools plugin because you have a little bit more options. It's a little less rigid. So let's go over this. Now let's get to work. Okay, let's start a new file. I'm going to work in large objects, feet and inches, or maybe, inches, feet. So I'm going to open this up. And let me draw a surface. So I am going to draw a surface. Let me make it 24 feet by 24 feet. I am going to type cage, edit, bounding box. I'm just going to use the defaults because I'm not planning to do anything too wild. Just something simple. I'm going to select these points. It's my gumball on. Okay, now I turn my gumball. Let me just do this again. Cage edit, bounding box. I'm going to select my points. I want to make this into an arc geometry. I'm going to take these points, I'm going to pull them down. Oops, I forgot to add this little point. Nope. Let me reselect these points again. Okay, now I am going to get my Grasshopper canvas. So the first thing I want to do is I'm just going to put a surface component. I'm going to select the surface. I want to divide these into partitions, so I'm going to go to divide domain. I'm going to, let me first put my bifocals. I want to put an isotrim component because this will show my divisions. Let me hide all this stuff. So as you can see, it's defaulted at 10 and 10. So let me get a slider. I'm going to, let me put it at 20. And go to my U. So I'm going to do something like this. I want to give some thickness to my geometry that I'm going to map. So I'm going to go type surface box. So now this component is basically going to give some thickness to these panels. So the domain is going to how many divisions they go. The surface is going onto the surface that's been created by the isotrim component. So now I want to give some thickness to this surface box. So I'm going to type my slider. I want to give a maximum 24 inches. So you can see I'm giving this a little bit of thickness. Now I want to map these geometry on each of these panels. So I'm going to type boxmorph. So the target is going to be the individual offset surface boxes. I'm going to type geometry because this is going to be what is going to be mapped. Now, the reference is basically going to be a box bounding component. So it understands where is the extent of what's being mapped. And as you know, I do have a lecture on box bound component, and the same concept applies here with Grasshopper. Okay, so I've set up my definition. It's not running because I don't have a geometry to map. So let me go map something. So I'm going to just map a geometry. I'm going to offset this geometry, let's say 2 inches. I'm going to extrude this 2 inches. I want to make some intersecting pipes. So I'm going to draw a line. Oops. Let me just take off the grid snap. I'm going to pipe. Let me put 1/2 inch. Okay, I'm going to pierce this into the circle because I want to create a Boolean union. So, okay, so now I'm going to array this, and as you know, I have a tutorial on how to array on a curve. So it's already at 4. I'm going to select all of these, and I'm going to Boolean this. Okay, so we have that. I'm going to map this into there. So I'm going to just right-click here, set one geometry. Okay, so you can see that this is our result. Let me hide some of these elements so we can see the geometry being mapped. So you can see that we have this geometry, and you can see that there is some connection going on. And if I turn on this box bounding, you can see that the geometry is being bounded, very similar to the Rhino command. Now let's see what happens if we try another geometry. So I'm going to go in plan, and I'm going to just draw something. Just draw something. I'm going to explode this. I'm going to mirror it. I'm going to offset this to give some thickness. Let me just join these curves. Let me type offset. Okay, so it's 1.5. I'm going to connect this. I'm going to join. I'm going to close the curve. Let's see, I'm going to extrude it. Let me mirror this. I'm going to move this just slightly. Let me take off my ortho. Now I'm going to create a Boolean connection, and you'll see why this is important. So I'm going to connect this. I'm going to use. Okay, so then now I have the definition. I'm going to select set one geometry. And as you can see, the geometry has been mapped. Let me use a color preview component. Type custom preview, so it just reads a little better. So you can see that I was able to map another geometry, but let's show a different condition. Let's see what will happen if I group the items. So I'm going to extrude. I'll do the same steps. Okay, so I'm going to select these items. I'm going to group them right here. Now let's see what happens if I select these items. Okay, so it doesn't read as one geometry, so what if I go set multiple geometries? So you can see, because I grouped them, it doesn't read it as one geometry, and you can see that it just got confused. So remember, if you develop something a little bit complex, you have to create intersecting geometries into it and Boolean it so it reads as one geometry. Although I can select this item and it reads as one geometry, grouping is not the best way. So always make sure whatever complex geometry you have created is going to be a Boolean union. So let me just attach this item. And then we have the geometry. So this is your little lecture on box morphing. It's an effective tool. You can obviously do this same sort of command with the paneling tools plugin, but it's important to know that there are several ways to achieve a result with Rhino and Grasshopper. So just find what works best for you. Find what is the best time management tool, and you will get somewhere. Okay, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video and make sure to like and subscribe to my page. Thank you.